here from the Scrappy Sisters, and it is day 23 of our Scrappy Advent Calendar. So we are almost at the end. This is my last homemade gift for Jess, and I really like this one. It's one of my faves. I am creating a kind of flip book situation inside of an envelope. Now, I'm sorry this is so fast, but I actually didn't edit anything out, but it is sped up 4 times. So the camera does get a bit shaky, as you can see. That's a side effect of speeding it up so fast. You don't notice it so much when it's a little slower. But I could have edited lots out. Like I could have edited the sticking down of all of these pieces of pattern paper, but I thought sometimes people like to see the full process, and I was really happy with this book, and it was a really good way to include a heap of photos into one spread. So if that's something that you like to do with your December daily or mini albums in general, this is definitely an idea you could use. I'm not saying this is my idea. I didn't specifically scrap lift this from anyone, as in I didn't copy them, but I mean, people have had this idea many times before, so it's definitely not original, but I certainly didn't specifically copy anything, if that makes sense. So I'm just covering this flip book that I made. I wasn't sure whether I would cover the top tag. So it's a full 12 inches by 6, actually it's a 6 by 12. And then I actually cut off an extra 4 by 6 size. No, slightly longer actually. Oh no, I'm looking at it right now. No, I did cut 4 by 6. And then I scored half an inch, I think, half an inch, yeah, from the bottom, and made it like a extra flap. Hang on, Lincoln's got to ask me a question. Oh, I'm talking to my friends.
I don't want to bring this.
Okay, where do you want to go?
Where
Are you going to Alma's house? I'm talking to my friends on the video. Okay, please wait. He would like to go to his Alma's house, so I will go and take him over there, and I'll come back and finish this voiceover. Okay, it's quite a while later. One child is asleep, the other child is settled. He did go to his Alma's, but then he came back, and now his dad's come home, and it's all happening. It's almost dinner time, but I just want to finish this voiceover so it's done. So I have finished the flip book part. I've covered the little 4 by 6 sections in paper. So I did trim the paper down to just shy of 4 by 6 because I didn't want it overlapping the fold. And then I also trimmed the photos down. So I took about 1/4 of an inch off the 2 sides, the top and the side. And then so they could fit 2 on a 4 by 6, but with space around them. Now I'm just working out where or how this is going to fit on the page. I don't know why I thought it would go vertical. Obviously it can't fit, it's too big. So I made the envelope using my envelope punch board. And then I sort of experimented with making the pocket quite large, and then I realised that's way too big. So I stuck it down kind of normally onto the page. And then I thought, I should have covered the front flap in the same paper as I made the envelope out of, and then it would all look seamless. So I do that. Now, because I am backing this whole envelope on the back of story 17, which you will have just seen a couple of days ago. It was the elf with the windows, like the little windows that opened up, but I can't stick the envelope onto that, and so the envelope is made out of quite thin paper from Rosie's Studio, and so I do back the envelope onto white cardstock just to give it some stability before. So it's just so that it can kind of hold itself together until Jess can adhere it to the back of day 17 or story 17. Now, I do want to cover this flap in the same cardstock as I've used for the envelope. So I'm trying to pull off the green holly, but it doesn't come off properly, but it doesn't matter. I just stick over the top. Can't even notice. But I thought later that would look much better, and does. I'm glad I've done it because it all kind of looks seamless. So I'm just sticking that over and trimming around, and then I'll punch out the hole, and then I will start embellishing. So I don't do any embellishing on the envelope itself, but I do on the flap. So I'm just pulling out some bits and pieces. I hadn't kind of pre-planned this, so it does take a bit of time. But I do know that I want to put some stickers on the photos, and then I'm trying to decide which ribbon I want to put through the hole. I do really like that ribbon, and in hindsight I probably should have used it, but it's quite bulky and it's already bulky enough, and so I didn't want to add even more bulk by putting the like pom-pom ribbon on. I haven't actually used it in this album at all yet, even though I'd like to. I just haven't. So I'm trying to look for some ephemera that would work. These are photos from Christmas Eve. So Christmas Eve was hosted in 2021 at my place. So we alternate, Jess and I alternate. Mum and Dad come down. They live 3 hours away from Melbourne. But obviously Jess and I are both in Melbourne, so we have been having our family Christmases in Melbourne for years now. I think ever since both of us moved out of living at university and into our own homes. We were still attending university, but we moved off of the university accommodation. I don't remember how many years, but it's been a long time that we've been having our family Christmas in Melbourne and that we haven't been going back to our hometown. Jess and I were both working. We had retail jobs when we were at university, so Christmas is a very busy time for retail, and you can't just take off. And so, we've had Christmas in Melbourne for a long time, and we alternate at the moment between the two houses, particularly now we've got children, and we just recently last year changed to Christmas Eve lunch, which Christmas Eve is not a holiday, so it is a work day, but because my partner and Jess and her husband are all teachers, schools have finished already by Christmas Eve, so it's just me who's working, and I just always take the day off. My workplace is very flexible. I work for a local government. Not a lot happens on Christmas Eve, so no one really minds if you take that off. And so, that is what I am doing. Well, this year I'm on maternity leave, so it doesn't matter, but I will be taking that off because lunch just works so much better for the kids. They can be super engaged and involved and happy and playing, and whereas dinner, it's it gets late and then they're tired and grumpy, and whereas lunchtime is it's much nicer experience. So that's what we're doing. So it's just pictures of that, basically. So basically Jess just took photos of her kids opening their presents. She did get one selfie of us around the dinner table, which was nice. And then one photo of, I think Mum took that actually because Jess is in it, of us serving up dinner. But otherwise we didn't take a lot of photos. I didn't take many. I think I've got like 2 photos from Christmas Eve because I was much too busy having fun with the family to take photos. So, which is great, 2 photos is all you need. It's enough, to write your memories. Anyway, I digress. I am sticking some of the card stickers onto the photos just with sentiments that work, like peace, joy, love, holidays, Christmas wishes, jolly season, no peeking, Merry, Jingle Bells, Christmas Eve, because it is Christmas Eve. There's no time like the presents. And then on the back of the flap, you saw me, I stuck down the journaling, did a few little embellishments there. And then on the front flap, which you will have seen, but I did a couple of presents, and I will put the number on the front, and then I've got a little sentiment that just says Season's Greetings. So I'm really happy with this, and I think I'll do something similar if I have this many photos to scrap in my album this year, because I think it's really cool. I like the interactive elements, and Lincoln is loving looking through he calls them Christmas stories or Christmas books, I think. I can't remember, but he calls them Christmas books, and he likes to get them down and have a look, but only the ones he's in. He doesn't really care to look at the ones that don't have him in, which, I guess you can't imagine. His parents had a life before he was born. And if they did, he doesn't care about it. So I really like the interactive elements because he likes taking things out and playing with them. But I do remember I have to make them sturdy enough for little fingers. But that's the whole point, isn't it? We want our children to look at our albums. So I have nearly finished. I decided to back this insert, the back of it. So as you can see, that's the flip page, and I decided to back it in pattern paper rather than the paper that it had. It just didn't really go with the flow. I wasn't 100% sure on the number yet, but it is number 18, as you can see. And so I didn't stick it down in the video, but I did obviously before I took the photos. Here's the close-ups. I have given you close-ups of all the pages just so you can see, but the actual construction was very simple, super easy. Just scored at 4x6 of a 12x12 and then added the little flappy bit, and then created an envelope, and we're done. So come back tomorrow. Jess has got her last homemade video, and we look forward to seeing you then. We're nearly finished. Thanks for sticking in there. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thanks guys. Bye.